Hello, everyone, and welcome into another edition of ESPN FC with myself, Alexis Nunes, alongside Stevie Nicol and Shaka Hislop. We know we're into the international break, but there's still plenty to talk about after a jam-packed weekend full of club football. Let's have a look at the top half of the Premier League standings. Arsenal dropped points this weekend against Sunderland, but they are still at the top of the table. 4 points clear of Manchester City, who are starting to breathe down their necks. And should that be a concern for the Gunners? Because, yes, they have led the likes of Manchester City before in the table at exactly around this time back in the 2022-2023 season. And we all know what happened then. They ended up finishing second, 5 points behind Manchester City, who went away and won the title. So, like I said, Arsenal have been in this situation before.
The biggest thing and the most important thing for Mikel Arteta is to make sure that not just himself and his coaching staff, but the players aren't looking over the shoulder. He has to make them concentrate on what's next in hand, the next game, the next pass, the next shot, the next whatever. So the minute you start looking behind your back, that's when you take your eye off the ball, in my opinion. I don't think this Arsenal side will. I think there's a different mentality about this Arsenal side. But again, it's up to Mikel Arteta and his coaching staff to make sure that they and the players don't look behind themselves, and all they do is concentrate on what they're capable of on the field. And that's all they need to think about.
Well, Shaka, you said it just this weekend that this title right now, the way Arsenal are going, the fact that they've gotten so many reinforcements, they have such a good squad, it is theirs to lose, not concentrating on what City are doing. But in the game against Sunderland, Stevie pointed out that Sunderland went after Arsenal with that physicality, almost bullying them in a sense. So even though their mentality may be different, do we see now a blueprint on how to go after Arsenal?
Well, I guess in some respects, but I'm not sure how many can emulate that blueprint that Sunderland showed against Arsenal. Sunderland know who they are. They have that kind of physical experience that comes with the championship that I'm not sure many teams in the Premier League right now can even think about emulating. I just take that as a one-off. Listen, nobody will go the rest of the season undefeated. It's how you cope with those setbacks, and this is just a draw. In the greater scheme of things, it's 2 points dropped, no more. These things happen, and it's how you respond to them that dictates where you finish. To Stevie's point, while there's a different feel about Arsenal this season, there's also a slightly different feel about Manchester City. Yeah. For this season, especially if you want to compare it to 22-23. Now, as good as Haaland has been, and as good as City are improved on last season, I'm still not sure that this City is as good as the one we saw 2 years ago. I'm not sure that City have the goals in depth that they did in that 22-23 season where they ran Arsenal down. So I think it's a very different feel in so many respects. Now, the thing is, and it still holds, that until Arsenal can see it through, you just don't know. And that is right now what Mikel Arteta is trying to prove wrong, that we can see this through. It's okay for the rest of us to sit aside and wait for them to do that. Now Arteta has got to prepare the squad for what's to come, understand where it went wrong last time out, and how do you fix it. But during the game, I saw that and I thought, nothing wrong with that. That's a part of the game. It's pretty physical. Yeah. But the more you see it, and I know slow down replays are always difficult to really judge. But the more you see it, especially in these slower motions, it really does look like he throws that arm, as opposed to it being a flailing arm or in the natural act of jumping. Where, again, in real time, at real speed, I just thought, it's one of those collisions that happens inadvertent. I'm sure it hurt, but it was inadvertent. But the more you see the replay, the more it looks.
Just a quick thing on that. The referee, though, refereed that particular instance the way he refereed the game up till then. Because there was a lot of challenges, there was a lot of head clashes, which, you could slow down and look and say one or the other was responsible or reckless. So in a lot of ways, the referee judged and refereed that particular instant on the way he had been refereeing the game previously. And so from a player's point of view, that's what we like. Yeah. You know, if the opposition does something, doesn't get booked, and then you do it, as long as you don't get booked, you're okay with it. And I think, again, maybe that's another reason why he didn't send him off.
Mario, what did you think of it?
No, I think, look, okay, I understand what the guys are saying, but if I'm going for the ball and my arms are going, I'm going to have them up. The only thing why I didn't jump on it is because he doesn't really swing with the elbow towards his face. He's going up, you understand, to go after the ball. Maybe the only thing you could say, okay, his arm is too high, but still, I'm a defender. I want to go and win that ball, and I felt like he didn't really went for him. He went for that ball.
All right, well, I think we can finally go to our Frank LeBuff there. Frank, you were a bit quiet for the first half. I think we had some technical difficulties. You need to learn to pay your Wi-Fi, Frank. You won a World Cup. We know you have the dinero. Anyways, Frank, what did you make of the conversation?
I'm sorry. I was a little bit short at the beginning of the month. I'm very sorry, but I will try to do my best. But, well, you know, I was listening to the guys, and, well, I want to go back straight to the elbow. And I refused, you know, after being having my nose broken 3-4 times, you know, in English football, to think that that football became so soft that now, because you jump, because you try to get your space, you are elbowing somebody, you deserve a red card. I will never go there, because I really think that Bala doesn't do it on purpose, doesn't try to push Merino away, as Mario said. He doesn't swing in towards Merino. He just tried to push forward to get the ball before Merino. So therefore, in order to do that, you need to push with your arm. That's a natural move. And again, I will refuse. It's a contact sport. I will refuse to think that that kind of move deserves a red card, because that guy plays the ball. And again, it's football. I mean, I will never go there. I can understand what the guy wants to prove, but you know, when Shearer was knocking me like that, and when somebody else was knocking me like that, or even headbutt me, and the ref say, play on. It was done a century ago. It was 20 years ago. It was only 20 years ago. And it was play on. And so I will never go there. I'm sorry.
Thank you. Frank, don't get me wrong. In a lot of ways, I'm with you. In a lot of ways, the reason I enjoyed this game is because the way it was refereed.
Yeah.
But this is a one-off. The game's not refereed like that anymore. It's not okay, whether it's accidental or you mean it, it's not okay to stick your elbow in somebody's face. And so it's the way the game's refereed. Whether we, because of what we went through, like it or not, the game's not refereed like that anymore. You know, if you accidentally go over the top of the ball and catch somebody, you can't turn around and say, well, I didn't mean it, and 20 years ago it was okay.
Stevie, we don't have to agree with the ways being refereeing. We are there to give the audience the experience that we have and the legitimacy that we have in talking about football. And the thing is, we know about, as players, that what we have seen is not deserving a red card, because the guy just played the ball and plays football. So if it's wrong, maybe we have the right to say, well, you know, referee, change your mind. Do something else, because you are going the wrong way. It's becoming so soft, like soon you will just push the guy like that and they will give a red card. So it's becoming stupid in a way. It's why I say it.
Well, Mario, let me come to you just speaking about...
You know what the thing is? The thing is, you know what, Alexa? The thing is, maybe me and Frank, we both broke our nose, so that's why maybe we're a bit more sensitive. You see, so that what happens.
Well,
Stevie was broken nose. That's the difference between Stevie and I. Stevie and us. Stevie was breaking nose. That's the difference.
A long time before we saw anybody break through that Arsenal defense quite like Sunderland did in this game. So did they expose some weaknesses in what we thought was quite the formidable defense for Mikel Arteta?
I think watching the game, right, one of the key things what Sunderland did at the start, they pressed them. They pressed them really hard in the first, like, I think 10 minutes. And when Sunderland saw that physically they couldn't keep up with that, doing it, because Arsenal is a confident side. They know how to manage to move the ball around. Okay, next thing they did, they started to play the tough game. If you look at the first half, you have to look at Xhaka. Xhaka set the tempo. And you always have one individual in your team that is going to set the tempo. He's the captain, but also the one that, you know, said he knows Arsenal really well because of his past. But the way he said it, you saw the way he was screaming to Mourinho when he didn't even touch him and he went down. He lost his head. And the whole team was going after like that. And that's why, if you see the first goal Ballard scored, they press them, you know, they press. They win the ball back.
Whether it can be Gabriel or Saliba, they're two of the best centre-backs in the world right now and doing great. It was a day off for them maybe, like offensively in the first half, they didn't show too much, but overall, you know, it's a draw against a very good Sunderland in a fighting spirit that we love, and it can happen. And I wouldn't complain too much if I was an Arsenal fan about Arsenal performance today.
But Frank, you would keep us out of the box at the last ball. You saw the goal that scored. You would tell us, hey guys, come on, you got to push up. Don't drop that deep. Because they were dropping too deep, Arsenal, in that situation when Bobby scored. They were too deep. They were inviting that ball kind of into them to get that situation to happen. Yeah. You have to be careful with that. You can't drop that deep.
No, that's true. That's true. That reminds me so many games, especially Paris Saint-Germain when they lost the second game of the Champions League in Barcelona, when Marquinhos was dropping with I forgot the former Chelsea player, plays centre back as well, fantastic, Thiago Silva. Where Thiago Silva, they were both dropping too much, and they said, "What do you do?" But sometimes the pressure is so much and too much, and of course the midfielder, they don't hold it, and we know that it's not only the back line, but you feel that nobody is holding anything, and so you drop and you drop too much. It happened today, during the weekend, where Gabriel and Saliba were incapable of pushing forward because nobody was following as well, and that's a unit problem. That's a midfielders, forwards as well issue, and they couldn't hold back.
All right, well, a lot of defensive talk here, but what do you expect when we've got the panel that we've got here today? Poor Xhaka, we'll bring in some goalkeeper talk soon, Xhaka. But sticking with Arsenal, let's look at their upcoming schedule because it's been all good in the hood, but they do have a tough run of games coming up. North London Derby on the 23rd of November, and then a true test in the Champions League against Bayern Munich, who have been perfect there. And then another London Derby of sorts with Chelsea, followed by Brentford, who we saw exactly what they can do at the weekend too against Newcastle, and then Aston Villa. So Stevie, any concerns here for Mikel Arteta?
No, I don't see it. No, not really.
You expect them to win all those?
Well, it's Bayern Munich. Bayern Munich's going to be some game. But in terms of the Premier League, I see them being too strong for Spurs. I see them being too strong for Chelsea. And actually, the one game, if you're Arteta, you've just had a dress rehearsal for Brentford.
Yeah.
Because there's only two teams that are probably going to physically match you or try and physically match you, and that's Sunderland and Brentford. Everybody else is going to try and play football. And so, in my opinion, Arsenal are well equipped to play anybody at football, but they're also up for the fight. And again, it goes back to where we started. If you're Arteta, you don't panic because you lost a couple of goals because the second balls. Yes, the boys are right. You know, you can just mention you need to push up, don't be so deep. But these are minor details. This is not a Liverpool situation where they're getting caught left, right and centre, balls in behind them, balls played through them. Nothing like that is happening. The only problem Sunderland have had this, Arsenal have had this season has been that physicality. But they're after Brentford, they ain't going to really face it again till well into the season. So, no, if I'm Arsenal, I look at that fixture list and I'll go, bring it on. You know, the Bayern Munich one, yeah, is going to be tough. But in terms of the Premier League, who's next? Bring them on.
Oh, I love a fired up Stevie Nicol.
Both those games, Manchester City just looked almost unstoppable, in all honesty. So kind of given the way that Guardiola is able to rotate, the players that he's able to call on, Ryan Cherky showing good form, the players coming back into fitness. This is, well, I'm nearly said as good a City team as we've seen, as good a City team as we've seen for 2 years, let's be honest. Last season was a one-off. I still don't think they're back to who they were the season before. But seasons gone by, we've known that City in the second half of the season, whatever Pep Guardiola does or says, whatever he's selling in that dressing room, they have been as strong as anybody you've seen in the second half of the season. Now, again, this version of City, I'm not convinced is that City of 2 years ago or 3 years ago. But kind of given history, we'll see what Pep Guardiola can do, probably get the best out of this team in the second half of the season, and what kind of gap Arsenal give them to climb. As much as praise as I put on City, I will maintain this is Arsenal's title to lose. Despite the blip, and I think it was just a blip, I think all in all, Arsenal are still the best team in this league.
That was I was critical about with Guardiola when he had people from the width, and when they did, instead of trying, they were going back and play handball. That's where we say handball because it's German. So like that, but nothing much. But now we have a Doku trying on the right side. We have Savinho or Cherki. That's great. I love that, and that makes Manchester City being a threat for all defense because you have Haaland in the middle, of course. But Doku showed his talent. It's what I know from Doku. It's what I'm expecting. And I'm not expecting less because I know I've seen him playing before. I know that guy can do that for 38 games. So, and that's a different Manchester City when you see that.
Well, Mario, let's have a look at who Manchester City have coming up next, and as we compare it to who we saw Arsenal have next. And it doesn't look as daunting as who the Gunners have, of course, against Newcastle. This is at St. James's Park, so we know that's definitely going to be a game. Bayer Leverkusen in the Champions League, then against Leeds, Fulham, Sunderland, which could be a tasty one, and then, of course, Real Madrid back in the Champions League. In terms of at least the Premier League title race, this could be a crucial period for Manchester City to continue going strong and maybe try to gain more ground on Arsenal.
Yeah, because I think all the teams that you see now in the Premier League, there are teams that will face City, even if they didn't win the title last season, they will still face them like they are the winners, because it's always a team that's up there. So they will compete with them. But if you look at City, if they can get this rhythm, what they have now, right? When we saw this weekend, it was incredible. You know, like we highlighted already some of the key players that were instrumental. I see some young players too. You know, O'Reilly, the way he plays against arguably one of the best players of you know, for a couple of years now at Liverpool. He played against him like he had no fear. He played against him like he wanted to challenge him. You know, then you have a Doku in front of you. So things like that. I feel like City now they're still building. I don't think they're ready yet to where they were so comfortable. But I think the discomfort is gone. So that's why whoever they will face, you understand, away from, okay, the Madrid game we highlight, but that is later down. I think if they can keep this momentum going, they're running into that last kind of game that we highlighted. It's going to be very comfortable for them in the sense of confidence and being sure, you know, a guy like Pep Guardiola, 1,000 games and that confident, and the way he did it, is some beautiful football. So I expect them to carry that on.
I think we will absolutely learn something about Man City's defence when they go to Newcastle. Newcastle at home are a different ball game than they are away. And the one thing you know is they will go forward and they will go at you with pace and they will counter-attack when it's on to do so. And we will find out, because there's no question going forward. You know, we're talking about Doku and we're talking about Haaland, and Savinho seems to have taken a step forward as well. Phil Foden seems to be coming back. So going forward, things look as though they're starting to come good. But there's a question mark about them defensively, no question. And Liverpool did not at any stage put them under pressure. We will see that in Newcastle, because regardless, Newcastle will go after them. And if they come through the Newcastle test, then I think we can start talking about this could be a real challenge to Arsenal. But right now, we can't say that.
All right, well, let's have a look at the odds to win the Premier League title. And Stevie, Liverpool, that's where I want to stick a pin right now.
I wonder why that is.
But look, Stevie, you did say it, especially after what you saw the weekend against Manchester City, just that lack of urgency, that lack of bite that you expect from Liverpool. You said that if they continue playing like how they have been playing in the last couple of games, barring the Real Madrid and Aston Villa game, then they're out of the title race as it stands.
Right now, I'm thinking about top four.
Well, what does Arne Slot need to do to fix that then? Because they're the defending champions, surely. And at least starting in the next game.
Arne Slot needs to forget about anything other than the next 10 minutes that Liverpool are involved in. Never mind winning the title or what's going on in Champions League or anything else. How do we get settled and how do we get into some sort of flow and get some sort of real consistency of good play? Never mind the bad consistency that they're in right now, pretty much. That's all Arne Slot has to think about. Forget league tables around. He has to try and figure out how we can get Liverpool to turn up and produce a level of performance that will get them consistently victories and points. Forget tables. From a fan's point of view, I'm looking at top 4 right now. I'm certainly not thinking about the championship. Nobody in their right mind could honestly turn around to you and say Liverpool are still in this title race and Liverpool can still win it. I don't think they can.
For that next game against Nottingham Forest, of course, a name that we've talked about a lot has been Mo Salah. And as we have said, if he's not scoring all the goals and helping to create, then he doesn't really offer much defensively, which is what we're seeing right now and how it can affect the team. So for the next game, do you drop him?
Yes, I would.
For who?
And that's the second part of the question, for who? But you can't.
Yeah.
You know, you have to find ways of motivating players. Motivate's probably the wrong word in terms of Salah, but you have to try and figure a way out how to get him back to somewhere near his best. And so far, playing him and playing him and playing him isn't working. We all got, well, I certainly got excited when he scored a couple of goals in a couple of games, but his overall performance hadn't really changed much other than those 2 goals. So now, the only other thing you can do is sit him on the bench, sit down, have a look, maybe a different perspective, and then play him the next game, and let's see if there's any sort of reaction. Because unfortunately, he's reached the stage now where the team can't carry him anymore. Just as simple as that.
Stevie, isn't it the African Cup soon? So he's going to disappear for like a month or 2, Salah?
Yes.
So the African Nation Cup, yeah. So, well, if you don't use him now and he's going to be gone, well, like within like 15, a month or even less. So you're not going to get Salah for like 3 months. And maybe Arne Slot is also thinking about that.
Unfortunately, there's an answer to that, Frank. What is the point? The guy's not giving you anything.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, you could look at it the other way and say, well, he is going to be away for 2 months, 3 months, whatever it is. So we may as well try and figure something out now. Why am I going to wait on a guy who's giving me nothing? I need to be proactive here. I can't just sit in my hands and let it happen and hope and pray that all of a sudden somebody waves a magic wand and he becomes the Egyptian king again. So I absolutely think he needs to do something, and that's my own personal opinion. I would sit him.
Mario, what do you think about it? Because you sounded like you agreed with Stevie when he said he would drop Salah, at least for that Forest game.
Yeah, because, you know, what I think, you know, I think Slot should pick the team, like, okay, if you look at Salah, I don't think he's the player that now I don't know how he feels because I cannot say that, but I'm just saying he doesn't look to me that he can play the back-to-back games. Because the back-to-back games, sometimes you get like, I watched him, for example, I was in the stadium watching him against Manchester United. So I've seen him moving around. It was one of his strongest games because he was the outlet and they kept on playing the ball to him and controlling, and that they started the action. But if I look at the weekend now, you have to also remember that some guys, when they play against Salah, and it's normal, everybody's been there, even all of us, when you play against a player that is so good, you want to show off and show that I'm capable to play against you. O'Reilly, young boy, of course he's going to give his best, of course. But now you see also players don't give him the respect like he used to get. They don't stay behind anymore. They don't panic as much anymore. They go and attack too. So that's already a problem. The same thing, you understand, when I talked about Wits, good player, but not ready yet. If he did well in Europe, then don't see it that he's going to do well in the Premier League, because the Premier League is where, you know, the rhythm, he doesn't have that rhythm yet. And I've seen him play. He looked like after coming off against Manchester, it looked 5 minutes. I saw him breathing like crazy. I was like, wow, 5 minutes. Yeah, but it's normal. Why? Because he has to get used to the way the Premier League moves. So I think Slot needs to play his strongest team, how he won the league, and then move forward to implement certain, diamonds that he bought. But if he's going to change them and straight away let them start the games, that's where the problem starts. And he has to be careful, because the problem is not going to be fixed if he keeps on saying like, oh, all my new boys need to play. No, they got to wait and build them into your team.
Donnarumma plays that perfectly. He gets up and acts as though Robertson was all over him. And truth is, he was nowhere near. So he used his experience. He kind of highlighted Robertson's position and forced the referees and VAR to make a decision. But again, in real time, it looked offside. But the more you see the replays, the more I got convinced that that goal really should have stood.
Well, interestingly enough, Stevie, the VAR agreed, and they said that Liverpool defender Andy Robertson was, quote, in an offside position and deemed to be making an obvious action directly in front of the goalkeeper. What does that even mean?
Well, that's garbage. That's absolutely not true.
Oh, my God.
He is absolutely no way impeding, affecting anything. He's not flicked the ball, so that doesn't count. He certainly has Donnarumma doesn't even know he's probably there. And you can tell, the minute that ball hits Van Dijk's forehead, Donnarumma's eyes are squarely on the ball. And all he's trying to do is save the ball. Andy Robertson is not on the planet in terms of Donnarumma. Mm-hmm. And the biggest surprise for me in the whole thing is, yes, he's offside, but you can be in an offside position and not have the goal disallowed. But guess what? The referee didn't go to VAR.
That's the other thing.
The referee did not go to VAR. VAR's fine. VAR can jump in and say Andy Robertson was offside. That's part of the job. But the referee has to be the one who decides whether he was impeding the goalkeeper or not. And for the guy in the booth to do it, number one, clearly doesn't know what he's looking at because he gives it. But two, why is he giving it? It's not his job. That's not his place to give it. The referee should have been straight over, and he should have been the one to decide whether it was a goal or not.
Yeah, Frank, and you do feel for Liverpool because this goal would have come at such a crucial time for Liverpool to equalise against Manchester City. We know how the game ended, but do you feel like if it was allowed, it would have made much of a difference in the game?
Not sure. I go with Arne Slot, who says maybe it wouldn't have made a difference because I think Manchester City were better than Liverpool. But we don't know. We don't know, and you can think that maybe Liverpool would have been better, and Manchester City maybe would have some troubles, going back to the fight. Blah 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 blah. We can do whatever. I can think whatever we want. But at the end of the day, what the guy in the booth were doing? Were they in the booth or at the bar? I don't know, in a pub, drinking, or maybe in the restroom? I don't know. But those guys, they have to stop watching and deciding for football. I mean, it's a serious business. That's really, and I'm saying that, maybe it makes people laughing, but I'm upset when I see that. Because you prepare a game, a big game, you score a goal, you're Virgil van Dijk, and you see those people deciding, well, he's offside. Yes, as Stevie said, he's offside, but it doesn't interfere. It doesn't affect anything. It doesn't blind the goalkeeper. So what are you doing in the booth? You have to say to the ref, okay, 40 seconds to lift up the flag, but now please go to see and decide whatever you want because we are not sure. At least just that. That's a scandal. That's a real scandal. We are fed up to discuss week in, week out about stupid decision, which is clear for everybody. We all agree Robertson was offside, but it doesn't affect. Therefore, goal. Bye-bye, 1-1, keep on playing. But those people don't know anything about football.
Oh, everyone's fired up today. I love it. Mario, what about you?
No, they already put the fire out, so I don't have to put the fire out.
Bring more fire. We love it.
Some more on.
They did it. Yeah, okay, let me put some water on it, because Frank was going at it. But you know what the thing is? Like I agree with the guys because I said what Xhaka was very good with the detail that Xhaka said. I will repeat that because that was. Donnarumma was smart. He was the smartest one in this whole play. He knew he could not get to that ball. So he just looked at the ref. He said, hey, the only thing I'm going to do, I'm going to tell him like, hey, he is offside. So you better call him out. As soon as he looked at the ref knew, okay, yeah, you're right. He looked at, but it was because the crucial time of that game, it was really, really sad. You know, regardless if City was the better team, it would have been 1-1. And you don't know how the game would go because maybe they will hold out for a longer time. But that's why I think Donnarumma, for me, you did the greatest move, just like Xhaka said.
I've got a question for the boys, actually. I've been thinking about this. The Doku penalty. Now, it finished up, they missed the penalty. But the Doku penalty, we're talking about how bad a decision the VAR was, and the referee didn't go to the monitor. The referee on the Doku penalty does not give a penalty because he doesn't see the contact. That can be the only reason he doesn't give it. So then he then goes to the booth to see the VAR. Now, we see exactly what the referee sees. And at no stage, in all the stills that he was shown, did they show clear contact. Now, the probability there was contact is really high.
Yeah.
At the time, I thought it was a penalty. But the fact is, the referee never actually saw a still that conclusively said the goalkeeper caught him. Because the only one that was sticking on, and we saw it about 12 times, was Kanate coming across the front of the camera so you couldn't see it. So how does the referee give a penalty when he doesn't actually see it? He didn't see it at the time. He certainly didn't see it when the VAR showed him the stills and the video, because we all saw the same thing.
Yep.
So how does he give a penalty? That's annoying as well.
All right. Well, everyone's fired up, but guys, let me just.
Well, yeah, because I'm thinking, is it just me? I mean, I don't think anything I've said there is wrong.
Stevie, we agree. I'm still not convinced that there was a penalty, you know, but whatever, because I think it was a light contact, and I wouldn't have given it. But I can accept the fact that after 10 times watching the VAR, people decide, oh, there is a contact. Okay, they love that contact. You know, it's like, oh, contact, penalty, whatever. But I agree with you. If the referee is not able to see in the VAR, why do you want to give the penalty? You don't see, you don't give.
There was nothing controlled about that defensive line at all.
Well, Mario, Stevie said that if Barcelona do continue defending like this, and we know so far Hansi Flick wants to stick to his style, then it's going to not only cost them the title, but probably a good run in the Champions League as well.
Listen, he's going to get some players back, right? Rafinha and, Pedri. He's coming back. So his style of playing is scoring goals and always attacking. And I understand that. I've watched it, I've seen it so many times. But my friend, you also got to defend.
Exactly.
And when I see Balde try to play them offside and they break the line, for me the question is very simple. It's like, there are going to be games that Barcelona is not going to dictate the tempo. And when that happens, when they don't dictate the tempo, the pressure will come on the back. And if you see the last goal, how they defend, Araujo and De Jong, how they defend that goal, both are trying to read the cross and watching the ball. They don't even see one of Celtic's players coming through the middle. No, guys, come on. If you defend like that, you're asking for trouble. So I'm really worried about them carrying on like this because their high line is a problem.
Frank, what did you think of that defending, if you want to call it that?
I loved it. It looks like the cavalry going out, say, oh, let's all die. That's what it was, Let's all go. We don't care. We die. We score. We concede a goal. No problem. And that's unprofessional. I'm sorry. But it's not, again, I don't want to blame the players. I want to blame the coach. He's been asking for that for a year and a half now. And the player we don't agree, like Martinez, bye-bye. And Arroyo is not, maybe he's not going to play anymore. That's insane. You have to listen to a coach who makes you being like a fool, behaving like a fool. And you know what? I was doing that on my own because I was tired after 80 minutes. And I said, okay, I'm going to play Russian roulette. I'm going to play the offside because I'm tired and I want to run back. But they all went for that like crazy. And it wasn't the 80th minute, it was first half.
You know, as a player, it is the worst feeling in the world when you're playing centre back and that's what's going on in your line.
Yeah.
Because you have no idea what day of the week it is. It is the worst feeling. And as Frank said, you are just praying that the gamble pays off. It's just, I can still feel how I felt. It's awful.
I mean, similarly though, how do you feel if you're a Lamine Yamal or, well, Sydney in this case, a Robert Lewandowski, where you have to score 4 goals every single game.
Mm-hmm.
You have to, if you want to win every week, you have to score no less than 4 goals. I mean, it makes no sense to me.
Shaka is even worse. Talk about Chesney, the goalkeeper, who see that and say, "Guy, why do you want me to be
so
killed?
far?
You know, why do you?"
Hey, come back! Come back!
That's insane.
He wants to have fun. That's why he's happy. He's got something to do. That's why he doesn't mind saying anything.
It was Titanic, wasn't it?
It's like Titanic.
Come back.
Come back, Jack.
Aye.
Jack. All right, you know where we're going with this, Mario. Let's have a look at the top of the Eredivisie, and it's PSV who head into the international break at the top. They got a nice win this last weekend. No win for Feyenoord, and they are there in second, but not even in third will you find Ajax, but in fourth. And Mario, it has been quite the season for Ajax. We're hearing that they may want Erik ten Hag back. What is going on there?
They have a big problem. Why? Because they brought Heitinga. You understand? He was the assistant of Slot at the time. He won the league with, the Premier League with Liverpool. And then he came over to Ajax. I ended up bumping into him on the street, actually, right before the league was kicking off. And he asked me one question. He said, "You don't want to be a coach?" I said, "No, my friend. Good luck." Now, it took him a couple of months and the luck was gone. I said, "No." He laughed at me, he looked at me, he said, "Ooh, that answer was really short." I said, "I'm pretty sure." Because at Ajax at the moment now, it's unstable.
Yeah.
There is no stability. You understand? If you talk to anybody that's close to the team, I've been once to the club, after so many years, I went there because we had like some get-together in the stadium and all that kind of stuff. So it was packed. But speaking to the guys, and I can see that the people that are involved in the team, they want to get some stability, but it's taking them so long. Viola, that was Viola that had the team before, and he became second. He told them before the season, "I can become second." Then he came close to winning the league. It didn't happen. And then he asked for things that he wanted to change. And when they challenged him, he said, "Okay, guys, then I'm going to take a step back and I'll leave." He left. And Heitinga, prior to that, he had the job already. He got sacked, came back, took the job again, and then got fired again. So for me at the moment now, I don't know if there's anybody that knows what they want and what the direction they want to go, because all the players they have is like so young. The team is so young and don't have no clue about anything. They have maybe two star players, Götze, a left winger, and Glock, a midfielder, and the rest of the team is just on Ajax. If I look at them, honestly, I feel like, I don't know if I played at this club when I was a young boy.
All right, welcome into Extra Time. Alexis alongside Stevie and Shaka. We have also got Mario and Frank.
The full house.
Stevie, do you remember the last time we were on the show together with Shaka? I felt like we, in another world, could have been a band. Shaka was singing, I was singing, but you were cutting it up on the dance floor.
Oh, you never take.
Oh, I took a video, guys. Have a look at it. Oh. Wait for it. That's Shaka trying to sing. Wait for it. Oh. Hey.
Stevie, you're still allowed. Stevie, with those moves,
Frank,
you're allowed to come
think?
out with me, man. I'll make sure you go out.
Dancing with the Stars? Can he do Dancing with the Stars?
Number 10 out of 10. Stevie as the group.
I've got to say.
10.
I've got to say.
What?
I didn't realise I was going so slow. Seriously. I thought it was a bit of pep in me.
There you're very slow.
Speed up the video. Somebody speed up the video a little bit.
Speed up the video so that we can.
Oh, boy.
So we can look a little quicker. What you need to hear is Shaka's vocals in that.
No,
Oh.
you don't need that. You don't need that.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, at one point I thought he was going to split. It was truly, truly fascinating.
Oh dear.
All right. Well, there you go. Let's start the questions, shall we? First question: where will Liverpool finish in the Premier League this season? Shaka says fourth. Stevie saying fourth. Wow.
I'll take 4 now.
Wow, how the mighty have fallen. Frank?
Well, right now, not in the first 4, for sure. If they carry on like that,
right now.
never,
We know where they are
never.
right now. Where are they going to finish?
Yes.
Well, you know what? Well, you know, according to what we see, I say no in the first 4. So let's say 6.
Oh, 6. Mario?
I went from 1 to 4 too, I think. I think they might get a Champions League.
Okay.
I went really quick. I was hoping. I was with Stevie. I was behind Stevie holding on to him.
Yeah.
But Steve, sorry, man, I gotta let go.
I'm with you, man.
It hurts, doesn't
It
it?
does, aye.
That
finishes
fall from
third?
grace.
Who finishes
Who
3rd?
finishes third? Manchester United. Who said that? Who said that?
Let me tell you something.
Who said that?
If United finish 3rd,
Who said that?
dare I say, Alexis, you will
we
be
said-
insufferable. You will be insufferable.
I'll take everyone to dinner and
Boy.
put this on Stevie's credit card.
Look at that.
All right. Next question. Oh, and guess what? It's about Liverpool again. Should Liverpool offer a new contract to Konate considering his poor form, or just go all in on Gay or Schlotterbeck in the summer?
Oh, dear.
Well, we knew that Gay definitely did want to go.
Well, it depends how much money he wants.
I mean, you can.
If he's wanting silly money, then you would have to kind of say no.
And you'd
because
stick
you
with
can
Konate.
get. You know, I think we forget. And all the time that Konate has been with Liverpool, other than last season, he's kind of always had that little mistake just lurking round the corner. Up until last year. Last year was easily his best season. He was reliable, he was strong, he had a great partnership. But this year he's been awful. So if he's wanting silly money, then you can get out of somebody else what he's been given Liverpool. If you take last year away, you know, Konate's always somebody who, as I said, has
Had a mistake,
Had a mistake.
as the cliche goes.
yeah. So that's a tough one.
All right, next question then. Hopefully we're putting the Liverpool stuff aside because we're stressing out Stevie. Pep reached 716 wins in his 1,000th match for Manchester City. What legacy will he leave behind there, and where will he rank amongst the greatest coaches of all time? Frank, you want to start first?
I can try. I mean, well, he will be simply remembered as one of the best. I mean, but you have to put Ancelotti with him and some others, you know, like Johan Cruyff at the time, and some others that have been absolutely successful, and in Italy, Capello, and I forgot the one from Juventus. I mean, those guys have been fantastic. Even Mr. Goethals from Belgium with Marseille at the time, that was great. But it's true that Pep made a kind of revolution in football around 2010. Where the football was maybe stuck in some style, he developed another one and created something who lasted like 10, 12 years. And but the guy is one of the best. I mean, what a player and what a coach.
I think that's the thing. Pep was always going to be revered as one of the best in the game.
Yeah.
Just from what he did at Barcelona. So you don't have to tee it up with his City record. I mean, I maintain that Barcelona team under Pep is the best club team I've ever seen. And as a result of just that, in his first managerial job, he was always going to be spoken about in that rarefied air.
Mario, do you want to drop in a 2 cents?
Yeah, no, I think what the guy says, I think the influence what he had on football, I think that is one of the key things. I think that's why he will be one of the top. Why? Because, you know, like, okay, Frank called Johan Cruyff. I don't call Johan Cruyff maybe only as a coach. I think the influence what he had on him and made him play in a certain way when he came to Barcelona. And he carried on because he also always talked about him and saying like, yeah, he was my driving force and he influenced the way I want to play football. I want to influence the game by having the ball all the time and controlling everything. And he clearly did it in every league he went through. So that's why I qualify him, you understand, away from all the ones. Look, he's not the only one, because there are more great ones, but he's definitely up there.
All right.
That's tough, man. We haven't even mentioned people like Zagallo and Rinus Michaels.
Sir Alex.
We haven't even Sir Alex, Shankly.
Rude that nobody mentioned Sir Alex.
I mean, we haven't even mentioned these guys. It's one of those impossible questions. It really is.
It is a tough question. Next one, though, is also a tough question. And we're back to Liverpool, Stevie. Not that long ago, Liverpool were thought to have had one of the best transfer windows ever. Is it time to reassess that, or is it still too early to know?
Well, again, I always talk about it. The game's not played on paper, and on paper, it was fantastic signings. Some would say maybe not fantastic business with the amount of money, but on the face of it, there wasn't one clever clogs coming out saying Liverpool are going to be rubbish with these two signings. Everybody was like, oh no.
Give them the title already.
Everybody, and I mean everybody.
I think we did say that.
Every single person was going, oh wow.
I did say that. I said give them the title already.
They have just gotten better. So, yeah, I mean, again, if you look at the age of the players they've signed,
that's right.
Once they figure a lot of things out, Kirk is a good football player, but he's a young man, and it's tough to explain to somebody the difference between playing for Bournemouth and playing for Liverpool. It's a world of this, and it takes time to understand how to go about it, how to prepare, how to get rid of the noise, don't listen to I mean, there's a lot of things. So, yeah, I mean, great signings, nobody can argue, but it's just not working right now.
All right. Next question is also for Stevie. Oh my days, Mr. Popular. Stevie, will the Tartan Army...
I'm getting pummeled here.
No Liverpool though, this one's about Scotland. Stevie, will the Tartan Army be celebrating Scotland qualifying for the World Cup after this international break?
Where are you? What are you doing?
Aye.
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 What's happening? I don't know what's happening in your group.
We're fired up.
Well, if they win the two games, they've got to beat Denmark. Denmark are ahead.
Right.
I believe if they beat Denmark and I can't remember the other team, but they've got two games. If they win these two games, I believe they qualify.
Let's have a look.
What if they lose to Denmark? Then what?
Well, they have to win.
They need a spot to bother.
They need 3 points or they need 6 points?
Well, they need 3 points to get in playoffs, I believe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Ooh, Denmark and Greece.
Are you home to Denmark?
They're away at Greece and then home to Denmark.
Right.
Ooh, that's going to be a big one.
Tough games.
Yeah.
But if they beat Greece, I believe they're guaranteed a playoff. But if they beat Denmark as well, then I think they qualify.
Come on, Scotland.
We've got a chance.
Come on, you Scotland.
Come on, Scotland.
Denmark are the favourites.
Come on.
We won't even get Frank or Mario because they're used to their countries going to the World Cup. They don't know the struggle that we three go through.
You will just wait till Thursday.
Yeah, wait till. We'll see if Jamaica can.
But now I got an extra.
It's the Nunez Shaka Hisop Classico next. I know.
Yep, I'm not talking to you on Thursday.
It's okay. Shaka, I would love if Trinidad go through as well.
Like he's not bothered.
Look what he's showing us. He's showing us something. He's showing us something. Hey, take the dust off it. Take the dust off it.
I will qualify for you.
Did Frank win a World Cup? Did Frank win a World Cup?
I give him qualifying.
Why are you talking about qualification? What about that? We don't care, man.
All right.
He's got about 6 of them. He has one at home, one in his holiday
car,
home, one in his car, one in his bag to take away wherever he goes. He's got half.
Hey,
He's not
Everywhere.
Oh my God.
Oh, we love it.
Everywhere.
And some of us are just
Come
hoping for
on now.
qualification. Any bets for the game on Thursday? Oh, yes, like I said, it's the Nunes Hislop Classico.
So Jamaica playing
Trinidad and Tobago against Jamaica. Yes.
We have to win.
Oh, Arne, give me a haircut.
Trinidad
Arne, give me a
have to
haircut.
win.
Thursday.
We have to win. We have to win our remaining 2 games. Have to.
And then we have Curacao at home on the 18th, and we have to win that. And I
tough
think
one.
it would be massive for Jamaica to do that in a moment where we really need it after the hurricane.
Again-
But if I could choose someone else to go through with us, I would love it for
Is that
it to
again
be
qualification
Trinidad
you're
and
talking
Tobago.
about?
Oh, Frank! Yes, it is qualification.
I'm
Some of
gonna
us-
go. I'm gonna go.
Qualification
I'm
for
gonna
playoffs.
Go. I'm gonna go.
We talk about qualification for playoffs. Well, I'm trying to get to the
about
playoffs.
direct
Oh my God.
qualifications.
I'm trying to get into the playoffs. Listen.
You told me yesterday it was Scotland.
Come
you
on,
wanted to go
Jamaica.
through.
I want Scotland
That
to go
was
through.
Trinidad.
No, but I meant from CONCACAF. All right. Who's
Scotland go Trinidad?
It was up to you. Everybody would get there.
No.
No.
No. Not our CONCACAF rivals, but Shaq and I are West Indian brothers and sisters.
That's right.
so
That's right.
We're the 2 only Caribbean nations to make it to a World Cup, so I would love for us to go back, especially when it's a World Cup in the CONCACAF nation. But in UEFA, I would always cheer for
What does that
Scotland the Brave. One world, one Caribbean, more like this.
One world. Oh, one Caribbean.
One love, one heart. Let's get together and feel all right. All right, that's it for this edition of Extra Time. We'll be back taking your questions together and feel all right.
Feel all right.
We're going to go dance now.
Oh.